Hello everyone and welcome to Movie Review UK. My name's MJ and today we're reviewing Avengers Infinity War. This movie is incredible. There is the summarisation up front. So, this will be a non-spoiler review, so I'll go into just very light details about the film, and I am filming a separate spoiler review where I'll go into more detail. So, this movie, the pacing is fantastic. It is absolutely jam-packed with content, with action, great drama, humour. It's 2.5 hours long, or 1 minute shy of 2.5 hours long, so it's a long film. To me, it didn't feel quite that long. It's super engaging all the way throughout. The film opens up and instantly it is incredibly exciting, and just the story kicks off straight away. There's incredible character balance. There is maybe a very small handful of characters, one or two, a couple, that feel a little bit like we didn't get to see enough of them. But you have to think this is a film with something like 50, sort of 50 joint main characters almost. There's probably about 15 main players there. But the amount of balance that you have to have in that kind of film is just crazy, and the fact that it was as balanced as it is amazing. The action sequences are really well directed, really well choreographed, and some of the more key scenes and some of my most favourite scenes were where the Avengers are combining their powers together, and there are tiny little sort of subgroups happening both in different locations and with different characters, and a lot of the movie we're cutting between them. In fact, there are some epic battle scenes and action scenes where any one of them alone would probably be the most incredible action scene that you've ever witnessed, and you're cutting between them back and forth, and it's amazing, and you're enthralled by that because you're so engaged, and it doesn't feel like you're snapped out of one. It's like, oh shit, this other incredible thing is happening as well, and it's amazing. The dynamics and character interactions between all of these characters that we've been watching for 10 years now, and them coming together, it's as good as you would expect. And you know, we've seen flavours of it in some of the other Marvel films, like things like Civil War, but this movie just takes that to the next level. The information that you need to know, or rather, you don't need to know, but having seen all the other films is so rewarding. This is such a rewarding film. It's got to be one of the most incredible films from that perspective, because there are just tiny visual moments that are explained in the previous films in detail, what they are, what they mean, and they just flash up on screen in this. So you as the viewer, you totally understand what's happening, like when there are battles happening and people are like using their powers or their suits in ways that wouldn't be clear if you hadn't seen the old films, but because you have, it doesn't need explanation, and it feels so organic. The humour is on point, very funny, there's lots of laugh out loud scenes. Again, it's something that you totally expect from the Marvel films. And another thing that I found so impressive is the Russo brothers' direction has evolved through the course of these films, very intentionally, as they did say on a previous commentary. If you look at Winter Soldier, it's a lot more sort of gritty and almost shaky, sort of the action is on the ground sort of style. And then in Civil War, they sort of started off in that way when you've got Cap and the Avengers doing these small missions, and then up to the more epic stuff at the end where they're battling each other. And then this one is just a continuation of that. It is absolutely epic in scope, and I adore how the storyline does dart across from different location to different location. This is truly an intergalactic superhero crossover, including Earth. There's plenty of Earth on there, so don't get me wrong in that regard. But because of the intergalactic nature, it makes it feel more epic, and just the antics that these heroes get into, it's just incredible. There are an amazing number of little cameos, which is really great. There's some big surprises, some huge surprises, a couple of which got an audible gasp from me. And there's just so much there for the fans of the movies. It's delightful. As we've seen from the previous Marvel films, almost all of the casting is absolutely on point, and in this movie they all come together, so we get to experience and get to feel the joy of knowing these characters and seeing these characters once again. It's just an astonishing film. It's absolutely packed to the brim with incredible scenes, great humour, enjoyment, excitement, and actually quite dark in places as well. This film literally has everything, and yet they even held back enough that the next movie I'm even more excited for now, which I didn't think was possible. I think that is the key thing to take away from the film, is that they put so much in, but that also they were reserved enough to not give us everything, and thus make the next Avengers film, Avengers 4, possibly maybe even live up to this one. But this is such a good film. It's going to be a really difficult challenge, but I think if anyone is up to it, it's going to be the Russo brothers. So thank you very much for watching this review. I would give Avengers Infinity War 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching. If you're new, please subscribe. I'm going to have a full spoiler review, so check that out if you've seen the film, or if you like spoilers maybe, and have a good day.